Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes,
So you told that homework of net worth of Amitabh Bachchan,
yes.
400 million.
400 million rupees.
No, US dollars.
US dollars. Oh my God. So students, can you all tell me in rupees how much it is? $400 million.
3,000 crores.
3,000 crores. Oh my God. You know, students, what is 3,000 crores? 3,000 people can live happily ever after with that money. Good work, Yash.
Thank you, sir.
So let's start. Make a list of all the new words that you heard in the 11th standard. Just tell me the words one by one. First, you studied about
Transactions.
transaction.
Transaction.
Right. Next,
Journal.
journal. Okay.
Ledger.
Ledger.
Ledger. Yes.
Narration.
Entry.
Narration.
Journal
Entry.
entry.
Journal entry. Yeah. The word
Ledger
entry.
posting.
Ledger posting.
Good.
Correct.
Good.
Capital.
Goods. Yeah.
Drawing.
Capital.
Asset.
Last class we studied about capital,
Expenditure.
drawings,
Expenditure.
Expenditure.
assets, yes,
Asset.
Liabilities.
liabilities,
Drawing.
Debtor,
Debtor.
creditor,
debtors,
Drawings.
creditors.
Drawings.
Yes.
Drawings. Creditor.
Okay. Yeah, these are the words, and someone said expenditure, on which we stopped. Okay. So let's go back to that. In your textbook, what is the page number?
8.
Page number
8.
8. Okay. So the last class we started with what is capital. So could you tell me what is capital one more time? In one line, in your own line.
The total amount which is invested in the business by the owner.
Okay. Owner's money in the business is called capital. Any other sentence you can use for this? This is correct. 100%. Any other simple sentence?
Capital is the total amount available in the business.
Okay. Total capital available in the business. Yes, absolutely. Then, okay. When we talked about capital, we came across the word net worth. And net worth means assets minus liabilities. You just cannot count only assets. As I said, you might evaluate a person and someone came today with the answer. Yash told us that Amitabh Bachchan is worth 3,000 crores. So his net worth is 3,000 crores. So like that, it could be even 5,000 crores and he has liabilities of 2,000 crores. So 5,000 crores minus 2,000 crores will be 3,000 crores will be capital. It means in the business, you might have 5 crores of rupees, but if borrowed money is 2 crores, that means owner's money is 3 crores. Okay. That is, if you count in thousands, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000. And that's why that equation, if you see, capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. So students, somewhere ahead, you will have to come across this word called as net worth. Will you be able to remember in future what is the meaning of net worth?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, same
Yes,
as capital. Same as capital. Net worth means capital. Another word for capital is net worth. Okay. So that's how you described capital, and we are going to discuss more in details with assets and liabilities and capital very, very soon. Then you studied about drawings. It's a very small thing. So someone can tell me what is drawings?
When some amount of money is removed from the business for any personal use.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So, money taken out from the business. And if you use one good word there, taken out from the business, withdrawn from the business.
Withdrawn.
Yeah, but taken out is absolutely right. I would definitely give full marks for that. There is nothing wrong with it. Absolutely right. So drawings is the money that you take from the business for personal use. So from the business, like my classes are there, my income from classes is fees, and my expenditure on classes is paying the rent of the class, electricity bill of the class, a salary to the office staff, spending money on stationery and repairs and so on. Those are my expenses. They are my business expenses. But the moment I use little money from the business for myself, then it will be called drawings. So as long as I spend for the business, use the word expenditure. Owner spends on himself, immediately switch to drawings. Paying office rent is expenditure. Paying house rent of the owner will be called drawings. Okay, you got it, students? The next word after drawings you studied was?
Creditor and debtor.
Correct. Creditor and debtor.
Debtor.
The word B is silent in that, students. So don't pronounce the B in that, okay? D-E-B, that is silent. D-E-B is silent. So pronounce it as debtor. D-E-T, directly, like, you know, debtor, like that. Okay. So tell me now. Clearly you have to tell me, you have to understand the meaning of the word debtor very, very clearly. Yeah. Okay. Go on. It's there. But I want you to tell me in your own words. Yes.
Any person who has to pay money in future.
Okay. Any person who has to pay money in the future is a debtor. Very good. Any other?
And that is asset.
That is an asset. Very, very good. What else?
One person who has to pay money to someone, or he also or is also called a borrower.
Yes, he's also called a borrower. Correct. Every borrower is a debtor. Next.
Who receives the money?
One who owes money.
One who owes the money. Correct. But not receives the money. Receives the money now if he takes a loan. But it is money payable by him. Okay. Then, okay, you said enough of debtor. Good things you said. Now creditor.
A person to whom the business owes.
Liability.
It is a liability.
It's a liability, yes.
The person to whom money is payable.
Person to whom money is payable, yes. So, students, do you have any creditor? Think.
No.
No.
Yes,
No.
yes.
Yes, tell me.
Yes.
Sir, you have to pay.
Okay, very good. I'm very thankful to that sentence. You are my creditor means I'm now going to receive money. A creditor is a person who receives the money. So I'm your creditor as long as you have not paid the fees. The day you pay the fees, debtor-creditor relation is over. That is another thing. So students, if you have your cell phone, your mobile phones, and you have not yet paid the mobile bill, then the mobile company is your creditor and you are the debtor. Okay. So any money, if you have borrowed money from your friend, okay, then you are a debtor and your friend is a creditor. But in business, basically, customers are our debtors. So if you are running a shop and anybody buys goods on credit from you, you are the creditor and your customer is a debtor.
Yeah.
And creditor is a person, mostly in business, is a supplier. What happens is that if you are running a shop, then the company supplies you goods, or the wholesaler supplies you goods, or the stockist supplies you goods. Those people are your creditor because mostly money is payable a little later. The day you pay the money, that relation is over. So creditors are people who have to receive money, and debtor is a person who has to pay money. Okay, you need to get this very clear. Even in future, we are going to deal with this debtor creditor in greater details. You have to maintain their accounts, finding out how much money I have to pay to my creditor, how much money I have to receive from my debtor, and you have to keep using these words very, very often. Okay, then we came to the word bad debts. Could you tell me one more time, what are bad debts?
The amount of money that cannot be recovered.
Correct. The amount of money that cannot be recovered from our debtors, from the people who have to pay us money, either because they have become bankrupt, that is insolvent, or they are dead and gone and there is no account available, a proof available. So you have to give up that money and it's a loss. So remember that word, bad debt and loss, they must come together. Okay. So these are the things we had discussed, and now today we go to the word expenditure. So students, tell me in the last 2 days where all you paid money. Remember, I'm using the word paid, spent, these are the words. Tell me where all you all spend money, or your parents or anybody who in your family has paid money somewhere.
Amazon, Flipkart,
But
online shopping,
so what is the purchase that you made?
or an item such as I bought a chessboard.
Okay, you got a chessboard. So expenditure, yes. Another thing,
Vegetable shop.
you bought vegetables, expenditure. Very good. Next. Can't think of. Nobody went to the shop and bought bread, biscuits,
Ice cream.
ice cream. Okay.
So I got a t-shirt.
You got a t-shirt. Okay. Students, I bought a gold ring. You all also spend money. I also spend money. Can you get back all the money that you told me?
No.
No.
Can I get back my money?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So, both of us spend money. But the money that I spent is called as capital expenditure. And the money that you spend is called as revenue expenditure. Now, what is the difference between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure? Before this, one more time I'll ask you. We talked about asset. And Gautam sir had given you one answer on asset. Can you all remember? Great people, when they speak sentences, it's remembered for a longer time. You must remember that sentence. What was asset? I want someone to remember. What had he said? And anything and everything that can be converted into money is called an asset. Students, if you spend money which can be converted into cash, that is one. Two, if you spend money and use it for a very long time. Now, long time means what? More than a year. Okay? That is called an asset. So there is a very thin line between an asset and an expense. If you eat ice cream, it's gone. You will never be able to recover that again. You spent it off. It's gone forever. But I spent on a gold ring. I can convert it into cash, and the gold remains as it is for a very long time. So I call it as asset or capital expenditure, and what you spend is called as revenue expenditure. So in business, students, in my classes, I will spend money for rent, expenditure, cleaning, expenditure, salary to other teachers, expenditure, repairs, expenditure. I buy a laptop for my class. You will not call it expenditure. What will you call it?
Capital expenditure.
Yeah, capital expenditure, and another word you'll use is? Yeah,
Asset.
asset. Yes. So you have capital expenditure. See the sentence, read it. This expenditure is incurred to acquire fixed asset or to increase the value of fixed asset. It gives the benefit for a long period of time, and it is a non-recurring in nature. Now, all this is very technical. So I'm going to tell you, first and foremost, you know the meaning of asset. Okay, asset is our wealth. Gold is your property. Gold is your wealth. Okay. So, but if you buy vada pav on the way, you also spend, I also spend. I spent in buying gold. I call it asset. Vada pav will not remain forever. Its benefit is for the day, for that time, and it's over. Benefit gets over. But I can wear the gold ring for 20 years. So I'm using the benefit for a long period of time. Secondly, vada pav can be bought again and again. If you like vada pav every day, you eat vada pav every day. That is called recurring. Recurring means the same event happening many times. I don't buy the gold ring every day. I'm buying gold ring. Okay, that is non-recurring. What I buy is non-recurring. What you are spending, it's recurring. So these are different words, different terms used. Okay, and you're going to spend a lot of time understanding that thin line between expenditure, which is capital, and revenue. Because when they say long period of time, then the question arises, long period means how long? So normally they say if you can use something for more than a year, more than 1 year, that will be called as capital expenditure, and less than 1 year will be called as revenue expenditure. But you cannot define that only by that meaning. So non-recurring, asset, long time, these are different things which define an asset. But today we will make a list of what are expenses and what are assets. We'll definitely go through that list to give you a better idea. So that was capital expenditure, and revenue expenditure is day to day. Every month I have to pay rent, revenue expenditure. Every month I have to pay salary, revenue expenditure. Every month I have to get my office cleaned, so it's revenue expenditure. I have to use stationery. I have to pay electricity bill. I have to fill petrol in my car. These are all revenue expenditures. Okay. So if you read the definition of revenue expenditure, it says revenue expenditure is an expenditure from which no future benefit is expected. You eat ice cream and it's over. You cannot get the same taste and same feeling after eating it. But gold ring will remain with my finger and I get the same feeling for years. Okay, so that is one part. The next is it does not increase profit earning capacity of an organization. Just because I go on paying rent, I spend money on rent, it will not increase profit. But if I put a signboard outside my classes, on the main road I put a neon signboard, okay, Richard's Commerce classes. Looking at that advertisement, there will be some people who might join the classes. So the advertisement board put up, okay, is my asset, and I'm going to use the benefit for many years. So that becomes an asset. But the electricity bill which I'm paying every month is revenue expenditure. Okay, so the same thing, see, the board will be called a capital expenditure, but to light up that board, I spend money for electricity, it will be called revenue expenditure. Why? Because electricity bill will be generated every month. And I cannot use the same electricity bill paid in future also. I can't say I paid in June, so August it's taken care of, September, forever it is taken care of. No. But if I spend for the board once, it's taking care of itself. I don't have to buy the board every now and then. Okay. So capital expenditure, revenue expenditure. Long-term benefit, short-term benefit. It adds to profitability. This does not add to profitability. That is, capital expenditure is non-recurring, revenue expenditure is recurring. Okay. And then the last line, don't read because you're not going to understand. These are normal day-to-day operating expenses of a business organization and appear on the debit side of trading or profit and loss account. This is nonsense because you don't know the meaning of the word debit. You don't know the meaning of an account till date. That is what is trading account, what is profit and loss account. So you will take a long time to go there. So we will be leaving that part. Just understand the meaning of capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Okay. One more way of saying is revenue expenditure is day-to-day expenditure. Capital expenditure is once in a long time expenditure. Okay. So then we go to deferred revenue expenditure. Sometimes students, you spend money, it's a revenue expenditure, but the benefit can be for years. For example, I told you about electricity bill I have to pay every month. Now suppose I pay electricity bill to the MSEB and tell them, I'm paying you 3 months bill in advance. So now that 3 years bill in advance. So that 3 years bill I have paid in advance. Okay. So it is called as deferred revenue expenditure. It's a revenue expenditure once paid and the benefit is going to be for a long period of time. So it could be also in case of rent. Okay. It could be in case of advertisement. I'll pay some money to someone and he'll say, I will do your advertisement for 3-4 years. So it is revenue. Advertisement is a revenue expenditure. Rent is revenue expenditure. But since you are making one-time payment, then it is called as deferred revenue expenditure. Now for this, you must understand what exactly is revenue expenditure. And once you know the list, then you come to that word deferred revenue. The advantages for different period of time. That's why deferred revenue expenditure. So you can use this expenditure for number of years. It's a revenue expenditure paid one time and the advantages for many years. That's why it's called as deferred revenue expenditure. Okay. So we finished with expenditure. Basically two types, capital and revenue.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Yes.
Sir, in the first one, capital expenditure, you had said that advertisement board in front of your academy.
Correct.
It would be counted in capital expenditure.
Yes.
But in the third one, in deferred revenue, in the example it is given, heavy expenditure on advertising. So are they both connected or what?
So on advertisement means, we advertise by putting a ad on the radio or on TV or in the newspaper. And if the newspaper dealer tells me, if you pay for 2 years, you'll get a discount and we'll advertise for 2 years continuously for your classes. Then that advertisement expenditure is called as deferred revenue expenditure. Okay. But if someone tells me we will put up a board, see, it's a tangible thing. Okay, you can touch it. And that board expenditure will be capital. But when I pay for advertising this way, by paying in advance to the advertisers, then that is called as deferred revenue expenditure. Okay. And I told you there's going to be a very thin line for understanding capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. With some things you learn by me telling, some things you will learn with experience. Okay. So that thin line is going to be always there. You don't know which side to go to. Okay. Now you'll only have to remember next time there comes up a question and someone asks you that advertisement board, you'll have to remember, I had heard that it is called an asset, but advertising on TV, radio, pamphlets, newspaper, whatever, will be called revenue expenditure. So you'll have to learn a few things with experience, and by just, even if you're not convinced, initially you'll have to just remember it. Yes, Arush, any question?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you.
I have a doubt.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you told in defer that you said that you will pay the electricity bill for 3 years. So
Yeah.
how do you know that the bill will be same?
No, it is just a estimated amount. You pay them one amount, like how you have this prepaid mobile cards, the SIM cards. Okay, you don't know how many calls you're going to make, but you pay them in advance.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and when that gets over, it may be for a month. But if the number of calls, suppose there is a fixed number of calls, if you exhaust that, you finish before that. Even the data, you are given 10 GBs per month. And you finish off that in 5 days, that doesn't mean they will go on for 1 month. They'll demand money. So even though you paid for a month, you finished it off in 5 days, you'll have to top it up. You'll have to pay additional amount. Any other questions, students? Don't keep any question in your mind. We have lots of time. Before your college admission could be done, we have already started discussing. So we have enough time. So we can have a very detailed explanation on anything.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, now suppose if I am going to pay for a course for sharpening my skills.
Okay.
Technically speaking, I will be spending that today, the entire fees in this course, which will be a short course. But I will be using these skills for the rest of my life in my profession.
Correct.
So whether this will fall under the revenue expenditure or capital expenditure?
Good question. It made me think. But it's like this: when you pay,
sir, I think it will be revenue expenditure because there will be no tangible asset that will be created.
Correct, and you cannot encash it.
But
by your definition.
But if I buy textbooks, then that will go into capital expenditure.
Yes. Yeah, and
this is what I think. I'm not sure.
No, correct. Because you'll be paying your fees for 3 years in advance. Okay,
correct.
You're getting advantage of for 3 years. But if fees which could be paid even per month. So fees paid per month would be revenue expenditure. In your case, it will be called deferred revenue expenditure.
Correct. But that will not go into the capital expenditure.
No, I don't go in the capital.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And you are going to study in future that every prepaid expenditure is called an asset. So for example, if you have paid for 3 years, then suppose 3 years is 3 lakhs. Then in the first year, 1 lakh only will be shown as revenue expenditure. 2 lakhs will be kept aside on the asset side. It will be termed as an asset and will be called prepaid expenditure. Next year from the asset, 1 more lakh will get deducted and it will be shown as expenditure and 1 lakh will remain asset. And in the third year, the asset will disappear and it will be expenditure. So when you pay for 3 years expenditure, and since you already know the profit and loss account, so out of 3 lakhs, only 1 lakh will be debited to profit and loss account. 2 lakhs will remain as deposit, advance, prepaid. Then next year, 1 more lakh will be debited to P&L account. 1 lakh will remain asset. And third year, the asset will fully disappear and become expenditure. So revenue expenditure, when slowly over the years gets debited to P&L account, that's why it's called deferred revenue expenditure. It will be maintained on the asset side. It will be among the list of assets. All these deferred revenue expenditures will be on the asset side in the balance sheet. And in the balance sheet, you're going to again study 3 types of assets. One is called fixed asset, which are tangible and which are called movable, like building and furniture and so on, land and all that. You'll come to current assets, like cash in hand is a current asset because it is there with you only today. Tomorrow it will either increase or decrease. Debtors also are assets. Those debtors also will increase or decrease. They are also called as current asset. So under assets, there are different assets. You'll also come across assets which are called as fictitious assets. You will come across the word fictitious asset. So suppose now you buy a house and the cost of that flat plus the stamp duty plus the advocate's fees, all that will be cost of that asset. Okay. But suppose you have spent money on advertising and finding out things here and there, and you pay the broker and all that. That money cannot be recovered again. Money paid to find out details, money paid because you gave a notice in the newspaper. All those expenses cannot be recovered. Those are called as fictitious assets. So any asset which is a loss but is a big expenditure and it's a one-time expenditure, it will be called an asset, fictitious assets, but slowly over the years it will be converted into revenue expenditure. So suppose you spend 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs will be kept on the asset side, and slowly every year 1 lakh will be treated as a revenue expenditure. It will be written off. It is also called as amortization of assets. So finally one day all assets, all capital expenditure gets converted into revenue expenditure. Like for example, you buy a car. The car is worth 5 lakhs of rupees. So it's your asset, 5 lakhs. Every year it depreciates by a certain amount, say 20%. Next year the value of your asset is 4 lakhs. 1 lakh is expenditure, or call it loss, or the right word is depreciation. Next year the car will be on the asset side at 3 lakhs. 1 lakh goes in the P&L debit. So these assets and expenditure, okay, all assets one day will be revenue expenditure, but slowly over a period of time. So as the asset keeps on getting used up, its value keeps coming down slowly. One day the value of 5 lakhs car will become 50,000 and nobody will buy it. Then you treat it as scrap value and maybe even sell it. And whatever money you get may result in profit or loss depending on that day's value. So again, very thin line between capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, and one day all capital expenditures may become revenue expenditure, but slowly, little by little. So that's why they are always together. In both the cases, we spend money, but only thing we divide it into 2 parts. Using now and not encashing, using it over a period of time and a chance to encash. So again, as you go ahead, you're going to learn more and more between the difference between expenditure and asset. Okay, when we do problems, I will show you how capital expenditure will be converted into revenue expenditure. Slowly, that in the 12th standard and all, we do that when we do accounts. And you will be doing it in the 11th, but a little later. So right now you need to know a very narrow meaning, what is capital expenditure and what is revenue expenditure. Okay. I am going to deviate a little because I want you to look at something which will give you a little idea on capital expenditure is to be called asset. Okay. Revenue expenditure, you just call it expense. So let me see where this note will be, where you have to divide which is expense, which is asset. Now here classify the following accounts under type of personal, real, nominal. I'm going to go at random because you don't know how to classify all this. I have to still teach you all this. This is still advanced. Come to the 11th one in that. Classify the following. Are you looking at the 11th one? I want you to tell me whether it's an expenditure or an asset. Yeah. 11th one, what it is? Freight. You know what is freight?
Sir, asset.
No, freight means transport. Transportation of goods. Yeah, it's an expenditure. You have to only say asset or expenditure. One of the two. Asset or expenditure. 25th one. You need to know meaning of audit. Audit means accountant's fees. I have to expenditure. Yes, expenditure. 12th one.
Which one?
12.
Plant and machinery.
Plant and machinery.
So,
Asset.
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 yeah. Fourth one. Fourth.
Cartage.
Cartage and freight mean the same thing, students. It's transportation of goods.
Expenditure.
Expenditure. Nah, you need to know meanings. That's why one good thing is that you learn meanings. Cartage means transporting goods in a cart or in a carriage. Okay, it could be motorized or whatever. So it is expenditure. Then 23rd one.
Fixed deposit.
It's an asset. Yeah, it's money in the bank. Fixed deposit means you have some money in the bank. Look at the 28th one now. 28.
Expenditure.
Expenditure.
Buying a motor car. Buying a motor car. 28th one.
Assets.
It is an asset. Motor car. Are you going to buy motor car every day?
No, asset.
Yeah, it's a one-time expenditure whose use is for a long time. As long as you don't sell it off, you'll use the car for years. Okay. So 28th one is an asset or capital expenditure. Any one word you use. Okay. Then in this now the scope for asking you question is very less. 32nd one. 32nd one.
Expenditure.
Expenditure.
Yes, it is an 32nd one. Office equipment. You need to know meaning of office equipment. You know what's an equipment?
That's an asset, sir.
It's an asset. Yes. Why? Your equipment is your computer, laptop, whatever AC machines or whatever in the office. Okay, equipment. It's machinery. Basically, the word equipment can be used as machinery. So, it's an asset. Then 39th one.
Expenditure.
Expenditure.
Expenditure. Yes, 39th is expenditure. And now I'm going to ask you, it's not in the list because this list doesn't have many. So I'm going to ask you, stationery which I use in my classes to give it to the students.
Expenditure.
Expenditure. And now look at the 33rd one.
Stock of stationery.
Stock.
Yeah.
Asset.
Asset, sir.
Asset. Yes. You know why, students? Stock is kept in the godown. Now the stock in the godown is an asset. Okay. It will be there, kept, and to be used in future maybe. So since you're going to use it in the future, that time it will become an expenditure the day you use it. But if you keep a stock of it on that day, it's an asset. See, it's such a thin line. Like just when you say stationery, you say expenditure. And the moment you add the word stock of stationery, it's going to be asset. So it's going to be a little tough for you to distinguish between that. But very soon you will catch up with experience. As you go on learning, making mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. But always be happy to make the mistake. Say, I finished my quota of mistake. God has made an account in your name. Aryan will make 30 mistakes while learning accounts. So it's up to Aryan when he makes these 30 mistakes. So you either make it while learning or directly make it in the examination hall. It's up to us. So everybody's number is fixed for mistakes. The day you say, I will never make mistake, you become God. So everybody has an account of mistakes. So you can make mistakes now and say, wow, I made a mistake. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to be a better person in future because my account of mistakes is reducing day by day. So be eager to answer, make your mistakes and come clean in future. So I'm going to ask you at random now. It's not here, but I'm going to ask you. Wages, you have to just say expense or asset. Wages.
Expense.
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 Yeah. Discount.
Asset.
You go to the shop and shopkeeper says this t-shirt is for 500 rupees, but I'll give it to you for 400 rupees. Shopkeeper suffered 100 rupees loss. Losses cannot be called assets today. It's just the opposite. Discount will be under the list of expense. Commission.
Expense.
If you look here, 27th one.
Loss by fire.
Yeah.
Expense.
It will be in the same category. Losses and expenses are always put together. Okay, but losses are losses. It would be wrong at times to call it an expense, but it is under the same category. Then 21st one.
Asset.
Okay, I'm preparing you first, giving you a little hint. 17th one is neither an expense nor an asset. Then what it is? 17th one. Now use your head. 17.
What is 17, sir?
Outstanding wages.
Personal account.
Outstanding wages. Yeah, I think that's not the answer I'm expecting because I have not taught you what is personal, nominal, real. Outstanding wages. Okay, you told me wages are an expenditure. What is the meaning? No, once you understand the meaning, your answer will be correct. You know what is the meaning of the word outstanding, students? Outstanding means payable. Outstanding means payable. Wages payable. Something payable in future. Something payable in future to someone.
It's a debt.
Yes. And you call it liability.
Correct.
It's a liability. Outstanding wages. Wages are expenditure. But you did not pay your wages. It's to be paid. It is still payable. So,
Liability.
yeah, it is a liability. Okay. It was a little out of the way. That's why I told you in the beginning that is neither an asset nor an expenditure. Okay, students, we are going to come across a lot of expenditure and assets. If I take another list towards the end of the chapter, I have something for you. Okay. It's on your screen now. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Debit side. You know, now you don't know the meaning of debit and credit. I'm going to tell you that very soon. If you look on the debit side, now here there are only two words, expense or asset. Okay. So the first word, royalties. You know, students, what is royalties? In the meaning of the words, you need to know. In accounting terms, we treat it as a rent because we deal with mining companies and so on. But I'll tell you one very simple thing. If you are an author of a book, suppose now you have written a book. You know, you and me can write a book, but getting it printed is not our job. The publisher has to do. The printers have to get together. They have to publish. They have to advertise. They have to send it for sale. All that is their headache. We just write the book. What do we get for the book? Suppose the book becomes very, very popular. What do we get for the book?
The matter and content.
Yeah, but we will get some money for it. Okay.
Copyright claims.
Students, every income has a name. If you work for someone, you'll either get wages or salaries. If you are a professional, you'll get fees. Okay. If you are an agent, your income will be called commission. If you are a landlord, your income will be called rent. If you are an investor, your income will be called either interest or dividend. Okay. Like that, if you are an author of a book, okay, you have written a book, the publisher will say, I will print this book. And for every book sold, I will give you 10 rupees. You know what that 10 rupees is called? Royalty. Yes. So for the author, it's an income, okay? But for that publisher, it will be called an expenditure. Same way, students, if you, Kishore Kumar has sang many songs, okay? Even today is earning money because if the song is used somewhere, they have to pay royalties. Now there is the word royalty, you're going to come across the word patents, okay? Then there's going to be a slight difference between the two because you might ask me then what is patents? But that I'll come to it later when I come across that word. So students, royalty is expenditure for the person paying and it is income for the person receiving. Like fees, tuition fees. For me, it's an income. For you, it is expenditure. So the same item can be called income or expenditure. So, but I told you the debit side never says income. The debit side is always expense. Okay. But the same item like rent is given on the debit side, you have to say expense. But if it is going to be credit side, it is income. But I'm not going to ask you about the credit side. I'm just going to get the debit because I told you this is either an expense or an asset. One of the two. Okay. Royalties is an expense because it has to be paid by the person using the right of someone else. I'm not going to ask you about drawings. I'm going to keep it aside. Wages, what it is?
Expense. Expense.
Purchases. Purchases.
Expense.
Finish your quota of mistakes, students, and guesswork is always important. When you don't know the answer, always guess. Say one of the two, true or false. In the examination, don't leave it blank. Whatever comes to your mind, say.
Purchases will depend on what you are purchasing.
Correct. Okay, and now the answer will be this. Students, in your studies in accountancy, remember the word purchases always will relate it to goods purchased. The items in which you are trading, the items which you are going to sell in future. Only that word is purchases. Now I'll tell you. Goods and purchases, they will go together. If you are a furniture dealer, you purchase a chair, you purchase a table, these are your goods purchased, you'll use the word purchases. But in your shop, you want to put up a fan, you will not use the word purchases. You will say machinery, fan, equipment, fittings, whatever word you want to use, but you will not use the word purchases. Whenever you purchase goods, only then use the word purchases. Okay? So again, it's clear now, students. What is the meaning of the word purchases? Goods purchased, nothing else purchased. So if you are a furniture shop owner, all furniture purchased by you is called purchases. But the day for your shop you buy an AC machine, a cooler, you buy one
TV
or a laptop or a computer, all these are your assets. Okay, all these things will be assets, but you will not use the word purchases, even though you have purchased these assets. So the word purchases are used only for purchase of goods. So purchase of goods, what are goods? Assets or expenses?
Assets.
Assets.
If you store these goods, stock it in the godown, call it asset. If you keep it on display in the shop and you're going to sell it very soon, you're going to encash it very soon, it's going to be income for you, but the day you purchase, it will be an expense. So we are going to put the purchases in the list of expense. Okay. So whether you like it or not, whether you agree or disagree, students, you'll have to call purchases as an expense. Yeah. And you'll be spending money for that. So a few things, students, it's beyond you. You have to learn by heart, even if you are not convinced. There are people still debating whether the coral reef in the sea is an animal or is it a plant. And over the years, it keeps changing. Plant, animal, animal, plant, we don't know what. Okay. It grows also. It multiplies also. There are so many factors. It's an plant or animal. Then whatever people, the experts say, we have to say, yes, this is this. Coronavirus, we are saying. Suddenly someone said, no, it's a bacteria. Again, it's called virus. So whatever the experts say, You will have to say, no, it's a virus. Everybody says it's a virus. So you don't have any proof. Like that, purchases now, you have to learn to agree with me that purchases will be treated as an expense because it is purchase of goods. Though you are going to encash it, again it is going against the definition for all practical purposes. Short term, recurring, every now and then you are buying. So we will put it in the category of expense. Okay, it is exhausted, it is used up, it's not going to remain. And whatever you use up will become an expense. Okay. Cash, tell me students.
Asset.
Asset. Forget sales returns. Someone to whom you have sold goods, those people have returned the goods back to you. So we'll not debate on sales returns at all. Bank. Bank means bank balance.
Asset.
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 Yeah. Insurance.
Asset.
Asset.
Yeah, insurance paid. Insurance of the shop. Insurance of
is an
the
expense.
car. It's an expense. Yeah. Because you have to pay insurance every year. If you buy a new scooter, every year you'll have to pay insurance. So it's an expense. Furniture.
Asset.
Asset. Building.
Asset.
Sundry debtors. Sundry word forget. Debtors. You told me today morning. Debtors.
Asset.
Asset. Yes. This is a revision. Now I'm trying to test you whether you remember what you told me. Debtors are assets. But why use that word sundry? Don't say sundriya. Sunday. Like that sundry. Neither sun dry also. Others you'll think of sun dry tomatoes and think of pizza. So we have sundry. The word sundry means total. Because if you have a shop, you have many customers. And there could be many customers buying from you on credit. So the total amount receivable from many people, you use the word sundry debtors. Total debtors, sundry debtors, many debtors. Their amounts put together is sundry debtors. And debtor is an asset for you. Bad debt, students?
Expense.
Why did you say expense? Tell me the reason.
Because it's in, like we cannot recover the amount back. It's
very good analysis. Another thing?
Sir, loss.
It's a loss, correct. So all losses will come under the category of expense. Sundry expense. Expense. The very word sundry. Now, why did they use the word sundry expense?
Total expense.
Total
expense. Many expenses. Yeah. You know, there are sundry means not normal expenses. Normally, in a classroom, giving stationery, paying rent, paying electricity bill, and all this is my normal expenditure, which I will name them. But once in a while, I distribute some sweets. Once in a while, I buy a small packet of pins, or buy one newspaper, or on 15th of August, I buy one flag on the way. Those small expenses put together for the whole year becomes a little big, and you put them under the category of sundry expenses. Normally, not a business expenditure, not a necessary expenditure, but yet it is incurred, so you call it as sundry expense. Then traveling expense. Expense. Now the hint is very clear. Traveling, the word expense comes in expense. Okay, I'll not ask you about opening stock. It will become controversial if you learn anything. Keep it open. So let's keep it out. Carriage outward. Only see the word carriage.
Expense.
But what is this outward? I'll tell you. When you buy something in the market, goods you buy, and you bring it to your shop, that time you pay carriage. It will be called carriage inwards. And later on you take it to sell somewhere else. And again you pay transport charges. That will be called carriage outward. Both are expenses. But one expenditure is on purchase and the other expenditure is on sale. So that is the difference between carriage inward and outward. After that, rent.
Expenditure.
Expense.
Carriage inward.
Expenditure.
Both are expenses, but only thing inward and outward. Inward means coming in to your shop. Outward means going out of the shop. And last you have salaries. What's it?
That's an expense.
Okay, students, it's already 11 o'clock. Today we did not study much, but this will go a long way in understanding the future. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, students. I'll see you on Friday. But if there's any question, doubt, discussion, I'm here for you. Okay, bye, students. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, sir.